Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I was getting ready this morning and I was like, I haven't done a get ready with me in a long time. So I decided to just film this just to show you what I've been using. Just a bunch of stuff that's not new, using stuff that is in my collection that I genuinely love. So before we get started, I prepped my face with my Merit Glow Skin. This came in a little gift set from the holidays, and I have like 1 or 2 squirts left of this stuff, and I already have a full-size new bottle on the way. And I moisturize with my Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base. Almost done with this guy. A review of this will be coming soon, okay? I kind of wanted to wait on that because I'm going to be applying my Bare Minerals Original Foundation on my face in the color Light number 8. I wanted to wait on reviewing the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base because I wanted to know how that product was going to work in hotter weather as well. And I wanted to test it in different environments before I kind of gave like a really in-depth full review on that and give you like my overall thoughts. So coming soon. And so I'm using a Real Techniques powder brush to apply this foundation. You guys know this is one of my holy grail foundations. And this is going to be a video using stuff that is not new. Some limited edition products that if you have in your collection, I hope that this video inspires you to pull it out and use it. So the weather is warming up a little bit here in Florida, and I have to say I'm a little bit sad. I kind of was really enjoying the winter season in Florida. I have to use air quotes because Florida cold. Florida winter is not the norm. It's like the fairy tale kind of winter without the snow. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. This is the one in the compact version, and the color I got is I'm using here is translucent. I'm going to apply that with my Too Faced Mr. Right powder brush, and I kind of just lightly like dip into that and set my face. I love the Bare Minerals setting powder. If you guys have been following me for some time, you guys see me use the loose version of it a lot. And they recently reformulated their powder translucent mineral veil. And I've been using it for about 2 weeks now. I kind of don't see a difference between this one and the other one because I've used this compact version several times, and it works just as well as the original formula, which I'm happy to report because I love the original formula. And usually when companies reformulate things, it's usually not really a good thing for the consumer, because I feel like 8 out of 10 it never works the same or performs the same way. So I kind of just work that into the skin. Next I am gonna use my Charlotte Tilbury, what is this, airbrush bronzer in number 2 medium. This compact is giant and it is refillable, has a giant mirror as well. Like, look at the size of this sucker. Could barely hold it in one hand. It is refillable, so you can like pop it out in the back and just buy the refill, which I fully intend to do, because if you guys are looking for a really good powder bronzer, love this. I'm applying this bronzer with my ColourPop F13 brush. Medium, I think, is a really good shade for me. This particular bronzer runs light, so I would recommend that you size up, but shade up, I'm sorry, shade up in whatever like you're used to buying with this one, because I find that this bronzer runs pretty light. Like, I feel like it looks even light in the pan too. I don't know, anybody else? So, which is not the case, because I usually, when I purchase bronzers, I usually go light, because I do like a subtle bronze at all times of the year. And I just felt like this particular bronzer runs light, and so do the associates at Sephora when I purchased that bronzer. They were like, I suggest you shade up because it's light. And they were right. Works great. I love it. Works amazing with cream or powder products, so it's a win-win. All right, next I'm gonna go in with some blush. As we know, I have been currently working on my Chanel 320 Rouge Profonde blush. I have long hit pan on this sucker, but I'm using a blooming blush brush from Bare Minerals. But my problem with this blush is that once I hit pan on it, the sides, like the product that's left on the edge, is hard pan, and it's kind of really difficult, has made it really difficult for me to pick a product with a brush. And so the brush that I've had to use is a brush with some rougher bristles, like this Bare Minerals one that is like 1,000 years old. Maybe that's why the bristles are so rough. It's the only way I can kind of like pick up blush from here, because I don't want to throw away, like, look how much product I would be throwing away if I just toss this in the trash. And I paid full price for this blush, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it until it annoys me enough to toss it. I'm going for the, like, I've been trying to do the whole blush on the nose. At first you look like a clown until you look great. Don't worry, I'm gonna blend it out. But yes, I haven't been super happy with this blush, so I just gonna leave it there. Just gonna leave it there. Next, I'm gonna go in with a product I have been very pleased with, which is my Fleur de Printemps Duo Blush and Highlighter Duo. Wow. This was limited edition, but if you guys picked up this sucker, it came with a blush and a highlighter. I've been using the highlighter with my MAC 188 brush, and I've just been using the highlight because this highlight is fairly pink, and it works really, really well with the Rouge Profonde blush. So as you can see, I've hit pan on it, but once I'm done with the Rouge Profonde blush, I'm gonna start using the blush in this, because I think it's like the perfect spring pink. I'm really excited about that. So I'm just gonna lightly dust that here. You're like, oh girl, you applied a lot of blush there. Are we gonna blend that out? Of course I'm gonna blend it out. Don't be ridiculous. You think I'm just gonna go like this to Publix? No. All right, next I'm gonna go in. What I do is I kind of just wait a little bit before I start blending things out. I'm gonna go in with my Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. Let me just apply this. Okay, so I really quick overall thoughts of this primer. I love this primer. It's amazing. You know what my only critique is? Because, you know, there's no pleasing us ever. But no, seriously, but my only critique is that I kind of wish that the whatever mechanism they use inside the bottle would kind of control the product, like how much product comes out. I wish it would let out a little bit less product, because I feel right out of the bottle initially you get a ton of product, and it's really difficult to just lay down a little bit, because this eyeshadow primer is fairly thick in consistency. It's like very high coverage, as you can see. So I feel like if it just let out a little bit less, it would be a little bit easier to control, but it's not a deal breaker. I really do love this eyeshadow primer, and I'm gonna continue to purchase it for years to come, because you guys know I was devastated that Bare Minerals got rid of their Gen Nude eyeshadow primer that I used for years. We are gonna be using my Too Faced Best Year Ever eyeshadow palette. For those of you who ever picked up like this planner, and it came with this, it was like a planner for the year of 2018, and it came with an eyeshadow palette, and your girl is almost done using this entire palette. So we're just gonna be using these colors here. I'm gonna start off with Good Girl up here, and I'm going to apply that color all over the lid just to set a little base. And I'm just using a Bare Minerals eyeshadow brush, right? What is this called? The Buffing Eye Brush. This is so old, I don't even think they sell this anymore. That's how old this brush is. But there you guys can see, Bare Minerals has some really good eyeshadow brushes. They really last a very long time. They are just, you know, because this is so old, of course, like eyeshadow brushes have come a long way since then. This is a little rougher on the eyes, but I also think it's because it's so old, but it's so good that I'm not tossing this. This is really good. Okay, with the same brush, I'm just gonna go into this pink color, Secret Santa. It is a matte shade, by the way. This one's also a matte shade, the one that I laid all over the lid. And I'm gonna use this pink Secret Santa shade, and I've just been applying this all over the lid. I'm doing the makeup look that I have been doing for like the past 2 weeks, because I have been using this eyeshadow palette for quite some time. Because you guys know, for those of you who are new, this year I have dedicated this year to really honing in and using all of the makeup that I have in my collection. And I'll link that video of things I plan to pan this year from my makeup collection in the description down below, in case you are wondering. This particular palette didn't make it into that video because I was already using it, and I forgot to grab it from the bathroom. So you guys can just add this into that pile of things I spoke about. Next, I'm gonna go into this color right here, Rise and Shine. This is a very light frosty pink shimmer. It has like, it's a true shimmer. It's not like a high impact glitter shade. And this kind of just lays a really nice little oomph to that matte shade I just laid all over the lid. I really truly enjoy it. This is beautiful. I love this eyeshadow look. It's kind of dummy proof, if you know what I mean. If you have this in your collection, I hope I'm inspiring you to bring it out. Next, I'm going to use my Bare Minerals lid line and crease brush, because this brush is dual ended, but really I'm just using the Dome blender brush. There is a lot of kick up in this palette. Again, eyeshadow palettes have come a long way since 2018. Okay, I'm gonna be using Silent Night, which is this color right here. This color, is also kind of like a satin shimmery shade, and it has a shift to it. So it's like a pewter blue with kind of like a lavender blue shift to it. It's really nice, and I'm just using this as my transition shade. Let me get a better mirror because the mirror that I have on this side is a little bit too far. I also remembered to just move you guys in a little bit closer. And I'm kind of just using this as a transition shade right here. And I'm not being careful. I'm kind of just like being messy with this. And you'll see why in a minute. But I really love this shade. I think it's hard to come across, you know, this kind of like shifting shade. I feel like a lot of the times when they try to recreate a color like this that has like that pewter blue undertone, like, let me just show you what this looks like on the finger. Let me see if I could even get a swatch of it because I have fully panned this color. So as you can see, it's like a blue lavender shifting shade with kind of like a silver base. I wonder if I can swatch this. I don't have enough to swatch, but like as there's like this shift to it. I don't think the camera is gonna pick it up in a swatch. It does better on the finger. It's beautiful. Like you can see when I've applied this to the eye, it's like deeper, you know? And as you move your eye, you kind of see different colors, especially when the sunlight hits it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. However, I feel like this particular shade is pretty hard to come across, just because I feel like a lot of the times, although it looks like a pewter blue shift with a silver undertone, for some reason when I apply it on the eye or when you swatch it, I get a lot of green, and it ends up becoming kind of like an emerald shade with silver undertones versus it truly being a blue, which makes sense. I feel like blue and green shadows are very difficult to do correctly just because they kind of are very close to each other. So I have truly been enjoying this Silent Night shade from this palette. And whenever I use my brush for more than one shade, I have a microfiber towel here that I wipe my brush on, in case you guys are wondering, for those of you who are new to my channel. Next shade I'm going to be going into is this deep matte brown shade right here. It's called Snooze You Lose. And I'm just going to concentrate this color, same brush, wiped it off here. I'm going to just concentrate this color into the outer crease just to provide a little bit of depth, okay? Just placing it right over that color, but really just on the outer corner. I'm not going to, you know, drag that anywhere else. Gonna do that to both eyes. All right, next I'm going to use the same Bare Minerals brush that I used for my lid shades. I'm gonna use what's left on here to kind of just blend everything on the crease and on the lid. But before I do that, I'm gonna get a clean brush. I always have a clean brush when I'm doing my makeup. This is a Bare Minerals Soft Focus face brush, for those of you who are wondering. And I'm just going to brush away any fallout that I may have gotten from the deeper shades. So if this is a good way, like if you don't like using eye guards or you don't have any, this is a good way to just get rid of any fallout. And I wipe my brush on the microfiber towel that I have here. And it is a very light brush, like brushing away technique that I do. A lot of people do this. For those of you who cannot do your eyeshadow before your foundation, this is how I've been doing it all year, all my life, and it works wonders. So I have tried, the Lord knows I have tried to, again, I'm going to use what's left on here just to blend everything out. I have really tried to be able to do my eyeshadow before I do my foundation. I cannot. I always mess up the eye look, no matter what. I'm gonna go into a little bit more of Good Girl, and now I'm gonna use this to highlight the brow bone. This is a matte, and I'm bringing this into the crease just to erase any kind of skipping, which I'm not too concerned about because of the next step. I'm gonna be applying a color over the lid. I'm kind of just doing the same thing to the other eye. So I kind of just blended everything out. But yes, I cannot. Those of you who are able to do your eyeshadow before your foundation, you guys have a talent that's rare that very few people possess. More power to you, and just like, you do you, you know, you do you. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with my Bobbi Brown eyeshadow stick, and this one is in the color Incandescent. This is a beautiful, like, shade shifting shade. I have featured this color on my channel before. Look how pretty that is. It's like this pink coppery shade, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply that all over the lid. These Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks play so well with any powder eyeshadow, like, it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to pat that once. I use patting motions just to kind of blend it, you know, so that there's no harsh lines, because I like to blend it into the dark shade. I don't like there to be too much of a separation between the dark shade and this actual color. This lasts a really long time. These Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks last a super long time. They don't crease, which is super important. Now I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Mr. Right brush, and with whatever's left on here from the Mineral Veil powder that I had used to set my face, I am just gonna blend out that cheek area. Blend out the nose area. Bring it down my neck. And I always do like to slightly blend out my forehead just to make sure there's no harsh lines from the bronzer that I applied. Now, I want to go ahead and apply a little bit of my Chanel Le Correcteur in Rose. And I use this very lightly. I just apply one little dot and one little dot, and then I use all of my fingers to blend this out, because this is a brightener that I like putting in the inner corner of my eye, but it is a little bit too light for my skin tone, so it takes me a little bit to blend it out really well. it's really difficult for me to find a brightener that works for my specific skin tone. It's either always too light or too dark. So this is how I make it work. This one blends out really well if I just take a little bit more time to blend it, and it just creates kind of like a very soft focus highlight. So I'm just gonna use my magnifying mirror just to make sure I have really blended that out. Okay, now let me go ahead and apply some mascara, some eyeliner, and I'll be right back. All right, so on my eyes, I put on some Gimme Brow in shade number 4 for my brows. And I applied my Chanel liquid liner in 518, which is like this purpley bronze shade. And in my waterline, I applied this like limited edition Chanel eyeliner that I've been using forever, which is a 949 blank graphique on the bottom waterline. If you guys pick this up, I highly recommend you pull it out, start using it. And for lashes, my Bare Minerals Lashtopia mascara. For those of you who don't know, I really like the formula of this mascara. I just unfortunately am not a super big fan of the brush because the bristles are a little too soft, and I tend to get mascara on my lids often because the brush is so soft, you know? Okay, and this eyeliner, we all know I cannot wait until I am done using this. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do not like this liquid eyeliner from Chanel because the mechanism on the inside that controls how much product comes out, you get way too much product out on the wand, which makes it absolutely impossible to apply a nice thin eyeliner anywhere. And you waste a lot of product because you have to get the excess and kind of like put it on your hand, not on the tube, because then you create that nasty gunkiness inside the tube and it becomes a mess. I digress. I just can't wait until I'm done with this, using it because I couldn't return it, and this was a pretty penny, so I'm not gonna just, again, I'm not gonna throw it away in the garbage. But moving on to a product I absolutely love. You guys know I love the Merit lipsticks. I think that if there are 3 products that you should try from the Merit line, is their foundation stick, their mascara, of course, their lipstick, their eyebrow gel is really good, and the Glow Skin Serum. Just gonna leave it there. Just gonna leave it there. Okay, lipstick, this is my favorite shade from Merit. It's called Baby. It is like a pink lipstick with like a lavender undertone. And this has been my go-to since January. I've been using this one on and off because I've actually been trying to use lipsticks that I know are much older in my collection, that are starting to reach that expiration mark, and I know that I really gotta get through them so that I can just project pan them, and if I love them, repurchase them, but if I don't, move on, you know what I mean? But I think that if you are gonna try one particular lipstick shade from Merit, I think that Baby should be like the first shade you try. Look how beautiful that is. It goes with literally any look. Let me swatch it on the back of my hand for you. I don't know, it just has the perfect undertone. Look how beautiful that is. I think it's the perfect pinky lavender shade. I love it. I can't get enough of it. So I know that this is gonna be like one of those holy grail lipsticks for me whenever I do like a new video of like holy grail lipsticks, because I feel like the last one I did was about 8 or 9 months ago. So I feel like I'm due for another one at the year mark. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be in that video. That's how much I love the Merit lipstick formula. It's that good. Anywho, that completes this video. This was just a really quick get ready with me using nothing new. And it's just what I've been using, what I have been honing in on, Project Pan. As you can see, I'm not very careful when applying my makeup on an everyday basis. I'm kind of like super quick. So I'm a bit of a savage when it comes to my makeup. Of course, when I sit down here and I do first impressions of eyeshadow palettes with you guys, I'm a lot more careful, especially with formulas that I'm not familiar with. I kind of rather apply less than have too much, and then that's harder to fix. So, but yeah, I hope that I have inspired you guys with some of these products to pull them out of your collection. If you have them, use them, enjoy them. You bought them for a reason. You like them, and I'm sure you've used them. Probably like got something new because, you know, consumerism, but forgot about something that you truly love. You know what I mean? So just go look through your collection, pick some stuff out, use them, fall in love with them again, and when you get tired of them, rotate it out with something else from your collection that you love. That's what I've been doing. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you liked this makeup look. If you own these Bobbi Brown eyeshadow sticks, I highly recommend that you kind of mix them in with whatever palettes you're using, because they really do work so well with powder products. Anywho, leave me a comment down below if you own any of this stuff and you absolutely love them. What have you hit Project Pan already in 2023? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and see you next time. Bye.